guest, Rehmiee. We met at the Mind Valley certification course. How's life ever since the course there?
Wow, it's awesome. A lot of learning curve, Nick. And glad and I'm excited to be with you here today, Nick.
Thank you so much. And actually, I'm really excited for this conversation because I'm totally new to coaching. I have some friends that are getting certified now, and other friends that I feel they have a lot of potential to also be coaches. So I think this will be helpful for all of us.
Sure.
And so, I wanted to ask you, what sparked your interest in becoming a life coach?
Wow, that's a very interesting question, Nick. Well, me being and prior to this, in fact, I am still an entrepreneur for the past almost 30 years already. Right? So as in the entrepreneurship journey, I would say, they say it's lonely at the top for corporate people. But for entrepreneurship, right from the bottom also is very lonely. And all the way to the top also is very lonely. Now, don't get me wrong, lonely doesn't mean there's no one around you and all that. But what I'm saying is that I'm speaking on behalf of conventional businessmen, for example. It's very hard to find that kind of a genuine support. As an entrepreneur, there tend to be the ups and the downside of businesses. Business will go all the way up. But what about at times where you need really emotional support? You need guidance, you need mentorship. Now, who would be in the same industry as me would come and say, hey Rehmiee, I'm here to support you, to guide you, to make sure that you succeed. Now it's rough time, let me stay with you. No. In my nature of business, I would say that it's full of competitions, and I would say that the industry is, the pie is like that only. The less player will be better for the industry player. So if let's say you're down and out, well, to my competitors, it will be better still. One less player in the market. Now, why I come to life coaching or even business coaching, I would say I'm really looking, all these years I'm looking for someone that can genuinely guide me or coach me. I used to think, when someone said, hey, can I be your coach and all that, I used to have this perception that, are you sure? You're a life coach or let's say a business coach. How can you know my business better than I am? But I was totally wrong. I thought the coach has to know everything inside out about my business. But unfortunately, it's the other way around. So that's why I went, I came into this Mind Valley thing also, trying to learn things. What is this coaching all about? What do they mean by being a life coach or a business coach? And the more deeper I went in, I found that, wow, I want to become the coach that I never have, that I've been longing to have all this while. That's the reason I say, well, let's do it all the way. All the way, Nick.
Nice. Wow. I want to ask you, what was it about Mind Valley that made you feel like, okay, this I can trust their program and I'm going to go through with it?
Well, prior to this, I have, tried or enroll myself into other coaching institute as well. I explore what are the options available, and all that. I'm not saying that, this is the best, others are not good. No. Each and every one of them have their niche. But if you were to ask me about Mind Valley, I would say they have got one of the best structure, the system. Okay? It's all there, and then it's very up to date, state of the art in terms of technology. The videos that I get to learn, throughout the courses. And then the other priceless things I would say here is that a very well diversified community. That is priceless, Nick, for my money.
The tribe.
Yes, the trial. And you can have the best institute or let's say online courses in my own country and all that, the most expensive one. But in terms of the tribe, the community is not that well diversified. So what do I mean by well diversified and what's the advantages of it? Because now when we deal with people in from different countries and all that, they come from different culture. That's number one. Definitely the mindset is different, right? In that way, when I'm engaging, let's say I'm with you now, you're in Vietnam, but you come from other country, you're with someone from suddenly Estonian or whatever, the mindset is different. So that really expand my how to say my map of the world, Nick. Right?
True.
Yeah, that is priceless itself.
That's true. I felt like there was something in common between all of us in the tribe, and I felt like most of us were very much in touch with I don't know how to call it, like intuition or gut feeling or something like that, like kind of brought us together.
Yes.
And because at least for me, that certification course was my first certification course ever. I hadn't researched other companies doing it. I just got a gut feeling from my valley when I did take their courses for about a year before enrolling into this life coaching program. So I was studying their content on different things like mental health and intuition and personal mastery, and then suddenly the life coaching course came up, and I was like, okay, let's do it because I was actually looking for that. It was a perfect timing.
So personally, how do you find it that you have been through that journey also together with me?
Yeah. So I'm still figuring all this out. I'm just trying. I haven't got my first client yet, but I'm feeling good about it though. I'm feeling okay, and I feel there's good things on the way, and I'm just preparing things for when they arrive. I'm trying my best.
Well, you mentioned a very interesting thing just now, Nick, about I think you mentioned about intuitions of a person, right? In what way does this intuition and coaching has a link and can support in this wonderful coaching journey, especially the intuition part? What do you think, Nick?
It looks like the intuition is doing the coaching, and I'm just like the vehicle, and I'm letting the intuition coach through me. It kind of feels like that, and I think everybody has access to intuition, but I think just not everybody knows that, and that also includes CEOs and business owners. So those people could refer to someone like us that is in touch with that to help them out with those things. I think so.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. In fact, although there are structures, modules, and all that a person has to go through in life coaching, but I would say that's not all of it. Maybe to the max of, to me, is 80%. The 20% lies in what you mentioned just now, right? To me, it's the innate intelligence of a person, right? The intuitions, how you flow with the clients when he or she brings up something. I cannot an AI or a robot say, oh, if he say this, I answer this. He say this, and answer this. That would be very too structural, right? And I'm dealing with human here, right? We're talking about feelings here, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta flow with it, right? What kind of innate intelligence that comes up when you you mentioned that you have this problem, you're facing these kind of challenges. As a human, I feel, oh, what is it that you're going through? Now that is that kind of effective coaching I'm talking about to me.
Yesterday I watched the Taylor Swift documentary, and I was thinking like maybe these like really famous artists they already like managed all their emotions and stuff before they were famous, and then went on to enjoy like success. But actually, like in the documentary, you see like she's also figuring all this out as she goes along. I mean, she was already a successful artist, but she's still trying to figure out like why do I want acceptance from people? Why do I care about opinions? Like she's still also trying to figure this stuff out.
Yes. So I would say, like, for me, I'm still a work in progress. You know, there's never ending in the learning curve. I'm a lifelong learner, no matter how many courses or certification I've been through. This is something interesting because, as you say, life coaching. Life is, continuous thing. Nothing stays permanent. I gotta flow with it.
It's something like just life itself is so abstract. Like we're sitting on this floating rock in space. Like we're just trying our best to figure out what to do while we're here.
Yes, you're right. Yes, it's a very interesting field, I would say, in life coaching because I won't know what you might bring on the table in this coaching session.
True. And it could be something you really could help me with future coaching later. Right?
Yes. And at times you might bring in something that is so huge, that I have never experienced that before or even handled that kind of challenges before. But it's okay, It's through coaching that I will grow together with the clients or even grow together with you. I may not have the answer, but let's explore it. What can we find?
True.
You know?
It's like teamwork, we'll figure it out together.
Yes. But many have this perception that say, oh, Nick or Rehmiee, you're a life coach or you're a business coach. You are supposed to have all the answers, that I'm seeking. But no, they forgot. We are human too, right? We are not perfect. I'm not perfect. I say I don't have the answer, but I have some powerful questions that I can ask you to bring out what you already know, or maybe you don't know that you know. This is what life coaching is all about.
And actually, what you just mentioned now, I think that is the original definition of education. Like if you search the meaning, like the definition of education, the root word actually means to draw out what is already inside. It's actually not to install new knowledge, it's to draw out what we already have.
Yeah. So somehow we are like clutter clearing of with that person. No one is broken. Now most of us already been born perfect. It's just that along the way, clutters, life clutters, I call them, this, that, and all that, until we lost ourselves throughout the journey of life. That's where life coaches comes in and asking you this, asking you that, layers by layers, we peel them. Wow. That's the challenging part.
It's the challenging part, but it can also be fun.
Yes. But
what happens some of the... Sorry.
No, what I'm saying is that unfortunately, many fear this peeling process. Right? To sound like, well, if I were to engage a coach, that coach is going to peel me layers by layers, which I don't want the world to see. The person I am. So that's why people
also
feel
like I had one session on this podcast with another coach, and he was peeling me during the recording. I could feel my body actually like shaking, like because there was just like so much stuff was coming out. I guess like so much vulnerability that even after we finished speaking, like I felt pretty shaky for like about 45 minutes.
But after that, you feel good.
That's true.
Right? That's maybe the healing crisis of the process of coaching.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced during your early coaching experiences?
The biggest challenges, very simple. No one believes in me, what I'm doing. Right? Suddenly, out of nowhere, can be my surrounding, family members, loved one, or my friends tell me, what makes you a life coach? Out of nowhere. What makes you qualified to talk about life, to talk about businesses as a business coach, for example. Right? Some people that say, hey, I am more successful than you, I'm more richer than you. What makes you that you can be my life coach, my business coach? These are, I would say, sums up little become one big challenges, hurdles when a person started in this coaching industry or coaching journey. But that is what I'm thinking inside. My inner world will be reflected on my outer world. If I keep on thinking that way, the hurdle is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that would make me just stuck and say, oh, they are right. I'm not qualified to talk about life. I'm not qualified to talk about businesses. I'm not qualified to coach people who are more experiences than me, doing bigger businesses than me. All that blah 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 blah. But those are all, like we say, the bullshit rules that I tell myself. Like it's not about, we don't measure in terms of financial, status or experiences and all that. It's about the skill that I learned in this coaching journey. That okay, you can be a veteran in your industry that you're doing that I'm not so well versed with, but I'm not going to teach you how to run your business. But what I can do, I can work together with you to bring out the best in you as a person to run your business. That's how I see coaching.
And of course, if the leader of the business is evolving, then that will also positively affect his business, right?
Yes, you're right, Nick.
Nice. Oh, I want to ask you this about the coaching niche, because at least right now for me, I feel like my niche is like, I think it's one thing, and then I do my own inner work, and then I feel like it's shifting to something else. I continue my inner work, and it shifts to something else. Like, I'm trying to figure out how do I even try to choose a niche, or do I just let the intuition choose a niche? I don't know. How did you do it?
I want to ask you, Nick, what brings you joy?
That's a good question. I love seeing people realize that they have so much more potential than they thought. Like, I love to unlock people. Yeah.
What else?
That's a good question, actually. I think I just like to be at peace.
To be a what?
Like, be at peace.
Be at peace.
And I feel happy for people when they can reduce their stress levels and experience peace too. Yeah, I love to share good vibes.
You have to share good vibes. Okay. So when you say
I like to lift people up with me.
like to unlock people's potential, you like to like raise their vibes.
Now that you mentioned that, actually, when someone has like an objective or a goal, I like to connect them with something or someone that can assist them with that.
You like to connect them with the something that or someone that can help them in their journey.
Yes.
Yes. What else?
I like to learn more about myself. I'm not sure what else. I like to learn more ways to be helpful. Maybe.
What about what do you love, Nick?
That's a good question. I don't know like what one thing to say actually. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm not sure what to say.
Well, that's a good answer, you know. You love to be alive. Take a moment, Nick. You know, sometimes a person get cloudy, you know, when being asked this, what brings you joy? What do you love? It's a very simple a question that many assume that it's too simple to discover a person. But when you're really being asked these questions and you feel it and say, right, bring it down to your heart space and feel it. What do I love? What brings me joy?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about differentiating happiness from pleasure. I think I would get pleasure confused with joy for a long time.
So how do you separate these two, Nick? What brings you joy? What brings you pleasure?
Right. Like pleasure would be the gummy bears I had here. Those would be pleasure. For sure. I guess what I've learned about pleasure is that it hits you pretty quickly, but it goes away quickly as well. So I'm gonna guess that's not joy. I'm just making a guess. That joy is not something that I can get from consuming something. And then like what I'm kind of trying to discover now is there's this quote that says happiness is when you stop looking for happiness. So then, is this it then? Like, it feels scary to stop searching for it. Like, I can feel myself like craving things that it should feel good right now. So, my experiment is like, can I consume less pleasure and then see what happens? Like, is joy already there waiting for me? Like, I want to experiment and see what happens.
So in fact, I myself feel confused too between these two in the beginning. Pleasure. I'm seeking this what kind of things that I do that can give me pleasure, happiness. But just now, from what I'm hearing from you, that how can I where to look for happiness? How can I find a pleasure in the things that I do? When the language that a person uses is like, wow, I have to look. It means look on the outside, searching for it.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I would say having this conversation with you right now, Nick, brings me joy. Yeah. I felt it. Right? I felt the connection between me and you communicating. Right? The space that we are sharing right now, it's so special. Right? I feel the joy inside me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So it's okay, when you ask me what niche that you find out, it's alright. As you go along the way, you pause. Pause. What I'm doing brings me joy. Do I feel it? If no, then it's okay. Move on. Next.
At the moment, I think I'm going to let intuition decide for me. Because I feel like if I try to look for it, I really screw up.
Yes. The moment I try to look for it, I can't find it. I get lost. The more I look for it, the more lost I will become. That's what I experienced, last time. So I realized too many things. I've been searching here and there all over the place. At the wrong place, at the wrong time. But I think the moment I pause and be present, I'm able to find so many things that comes up. The things that I want, the things that I don't want, especially, also comes up. Right?
I want to ask you, how did you learn about just intuition, or maybe it's trusting your gut feeling? How did you learn that?
That's $1 million question. I would say through a lot of mistakes, hard work, wrong decisions. With that comes, I would say, the insights and the wisdoms, the price that I have to pay along the way. With that, I built my intuition muscle. I'm still not perfect. I still make mistakes along the way, right? But I would say that the muscle is being built along the way. If you really shift it and build that kind of muscle, the mental muscle, the intuition muscle. At times when I don't have the answer, pause. What comes up? I ask myself, look inside. What comes up? What about me? What about what I'm doing right now? How does it serve me? Or I don't feel good. Then I stop. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These kind of intuitions in coaching.
Because you're somebody who has very strong faith in intuition. I don't know if you follow any religion or not, but I feel like you have a very strong faith in intuition.
I would say that I'm not against any religion or what, but intuition comes from inside the person, not by religion teaching, not because of I joined this, congregations or whatever. No, it's more to the self. I think by using more, it's just that everyone has this innate intelligence in them. It's a matter of whether how often do I use it? Yeah, how often? That means I'm talking about self-esteem here. It links to intuition, confidence. How do I see myself? Whether I trust my own intuition, I trust my own decisions or not. Right? The more I use it, when my intuition comes out more, that means my self-esteem will increase too. But many times, because of my surrounding, when I grew up or in my community and all that, people will say, hey, you gotta listen to the elders, listen to this, listen to that. I lost it, until I don't have faith in myself. But throughout this coaching journey, I told myself it's time to bring back my own power. That's where intuition kicks in. I gotta use it as often as I can, I told myself.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I try to control things, I keep messing up. So then I guess I'm trying to learn, what do they call it? Surrender? Just let intuition just do it. Just like, oh my god, I stop getting in the way because I keep making mistakes.
I think the hardest part when you ask me how to practice more of this intuition part, because human being, I tend to have this instinct of wanting to fix things, judge things, judging myself, judging others. All this, I would say like a sabotage to me, preventing me from using my innate intelligence. Judging me whether, are you sure? Am I capable of doing this? Am I good enough? All this judgmental way of thinking, without me realizing it, is being sabotaging me. So that's where life coach comes into the picture. You know it by the way a person talk, the language that the person use, right? Whether the sabotage are leading that person or not, whether it's a lot of his words and all that are being judgmental to himself, especially without that person knowing it. So a coach is to reflect to him.
Yeah. I mean, if someone does not have access to a coach, what is the best way for them to be aware of their self-sabotage?
Very good answer. Right. The person just need to take a pause at the end of the day and do a simple reflection back of what has happened. The words that he used, the decisions that he made, the choices that he chose, are those based on what? Ask himself or herself back. Oh, why am I making that kind of decisions? Is it because I let the judge take over me? Am I being judgmental to that person? That's why I make these decisions? Or is it because I'm referring to my past or that person's past that I'm making these decisions? Many times I would say more than 80% of the time I'm being judgmental when I make the decisions.
I guess I'm on the journey of becoming more self-aware, trying my best.
But you brought up a very good point. How does a layman, have this kind of without a coach? How we do it? Awareness is the first step. Right? Without awareness, the person will keep on doing repeating the same pattern again and again.
Like, before comments, I want to share with you just a quick story of how I became interested in, let's say, in my own awareness of my own mind. Like, I was, there was one moment, I was like, right now I'm 33, and when I was 26, I had a girlfriend who I loved very much. And, but the thing is, she hadn't decided to break up with me and didn't tell me. Right? So for a whole month, she just ignored me. And in that 1 month, I mean, I decided to not give up, right? But the thing is that my mind got so loud, like I never experienced before, like just trying to imagine why she did something to me, did something happen, did I do something, and like every day it was just so loud for a month. And then after a month, when I finally saw her again, and then she told me, oh yeah, I just broke up. Like, oh my god, why did you do something? But after she told me, then my mind just got much quieter. And then I was just left wondering, like, what was that? How could my mind be so loud for 30 days, and now suddenly it's fine again? So after that, it got me interested, like, okay, what's going on there?
So when especially things don't work out, like what you mentioned just now, the biggest judge will appear, especially to ourselves. I say, what went wrong? What have I done? Did I do this? Did I do that? A lot of judgmental thinking will come, pop up. Right. But if we flip the coin to the other side, Nick, judge is just one of them, the saboteurs that we have, it's just one of the main one. But we tend to forget there are still many, I would say, I call them sages, the traits of sages. Like, what about compassion, empathy? Do we use that to ourselves very often? We forget we have that. Many times, especially the moment things don't work out for me, I would use it. Oh, Rehmiee, why am I so useless? Why did I screw up? Why this? Why that? All the self-bashing, being judging myself, the action that I didn't take, I'm supposed to take. But what if I flip the coin to the other side?